Mark, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I was guessing.
Did you guess? You want to know who it was? It's me!
Yeah, I want to apologise to your researcher, first of all, because she asked me to send in some pictures of when I was younger.
Oh, really?
So you could have had a little bit more of a,
Yeah, I bet you were quite sweet when you were little.
What, you said I'm not now?
Were you tall? Yeah, when...
I was a lot shorter then, but then I'm sat down now anyway. So
but were you tall when you were young?
Yeah, I was kind of 6'1" when I was 13.
Really? How tall are you now?
6'6".
Now, that must help with swimming.
It does. I mean, in general terms, I'll make it basic. The most important things for swimming are big paddles, big flippers, big feet, big hands. So
I've got massive hands. I bet my hands are bigger than yours. Let's have a quick look. No, they're not. Almost. They're big, though. Big for a girl. Big for a girl. Yeah, my dad said to me, no, you're deformed, your hands, they're bigger than mine. That's what he said, seriously. So what got you into swimming?
I learned like most kids, really. It's a sort of life skill. One of the big reasons why I got pushed in the pool, so to speak, was my dad at 11. For him, he got thrown in the lake, petrified of water and nearly drowned. He never learnt to swim, but he was determined myself and my sisters would learn for safety reasons. So he used to take us along to the pool and throw us around. And then I went for the important bit, which was swimming lessons, and probably what a lot of people don't know, or they probably wouldn't know, that my swimming teacher was a lady called Mrs. Hardcastle, who was the mother of a girl called Sarah Hardcastle, who went to the 1984 Olympics and won a silver and a bronze medal in the 4 and 800 freestyle. That was my teacher. So she had a good eye. So basically, when I got in the water and I showed promise, she pushed me into the club and it sort of happened from there. And
so you, I mean, at age 15, you were a fabulous swimmer. I mean, talk to me about fastest swimmer in the UK.
Yeah, I was the fastest 11-year-old in the world. So I did the national championships and I compared myself to everybody else in the world. Back of a magazine, all these results. So I kind of realised I was the fastest 11-year-old in the world. And then at 15, became the fastest swimmer in the UK. Senior, swimmer, man, whatever. I had a scholarship to Millfield School, so off I went down there. But my big thing is I surrounded myself with people better than me. So every day I pushed myself and learnt from other people, and I kind of created good habits by having better people around me. Well, there's more luck than judgment, to be fair.
Well, that's very important as well. I mean, if you surround yourself with 10 tramps, you'll be the 11th one. Surround yourself with 10 billionaires, you'll be the 11th one, of course.
That didn't happen, no.
That's how it goes.
Just a swimmer.
But swimming has been, obviously, a big thing in your life. What is the biggest thing that you feel that you've done in swimming? The proudest moment that you had?
I suppose a couple of things. I got to carry the flag round at the 2008 Olympic Games opening ceremony. So the flag bearer for Team GB. My 5th Olympics. I'm going to be my last Olympics. So walking into the Olympic Stadium, holding the flag and leading out Team GB in front of 85,000 people was awesome. And in the pool, I suppose, breaking the world record for the 50 freestyle, which meant that I was the fastest, for that moment, the fastest human being to travel through water. God, and I broke it 8 times, but other people broke it and it's now moved on. But
you have to be so focused. You have to be so focused, don't you? You must have given up quite a lot to do all of this.
Sacrifices, I don't think I noticed any sacrifices simply because all the people I hanged around with, my mates, did the same thing. So I think I would have probably noticed if I'd have making a sacrifice had my mates been going out the weekend, and I'd have been like, oh, great, I'm getting up for another training session. But weekends were going to swimming galas, swimming competitions, training camps. And don't get me wrong, I think when I didn't get paid a penny until I was 22 years of age.
Right.
So until that point, it was just my love and my passion. And then I thought, oh, this is a job. But any sports person that tells you that it's not the best job in the world, that your love and your passion becomes your job, albeit that I knew I was going to retire early at 38. But for that moment, I mean, it was a dream, really.
What do you think now? Because I'm going to ask you, because there's always this big trans argument. And, you know, of course, we had the situation with Leah Thomas, who was the fastest female swimmer, or, you know, in the female category. What do you think as you're looking at that? Because obviously when you were swimming, this wasn't a thing.
No, I only know...
Or was it?
I don't think it was.
Yeah.
We didn't hear anything. But I think at the same time, looking at it from my perspective now, looking at it from a level playing field, so to speak, if you took a 20-year-old me that was in his peak of his powers, the world record holder, so to speak, and I transitioned, if that had been what I wanted to do, and then I came up against female swimmers, I generally would have wiped the floor with them. And I think that would have been slightly unfair. But then I was a male world record holder. I think it's slightly unfair that you try and put those two on a level playing field. And I think when women for years have fought for equal rights in whatever arena it is, all of a sudden you're making it an unlevel playing field. And I think elite sport is unfair and possibly, potentially dangerous when you look at the likes of, I don't know, MMA, boxing,
yeah, there was,
fighting, or rugby, for example. You've got these You know, you're born bigger genes, bigger hands, arms, a lot. So I think it would be unfair.
Yeah, it shouldn't, in my view, it shouldn't be that way. But anyway, other things you've done, though, because I actually met you many years ago, though you didn't remember me.
It's because you're in your dance gear.
That's right. Well, I had a big afro as well. But I used to do Fit Steps, which was like a dance thing. It was like a dance workout. You got involved in that. How did you move from what you're doing to that? Was that the first thing you moved to? Or
It was
that
out of an experience, became an opportunity. So I did Strictly Come Dancing in 2008. I made it halfway. I loved it. I loved the show and I didn't realise that you could have so much fun dancing, but also get fit by dancing, because my whole sports world was obviously in the pool. And I'm realising how much fun it was. I had a big thing about getting people fit and healthy, and in my head it was going to be through exercise that I used to do in the gym. But then doing Strictly and realising that some people don't like swimming, biking, running, gymming, but they love dance. And from kids to parents to grandparents, it kind of splits all ages. So I got together with Ian Waite and Natalie Lowe, two of the pro dancers from Strictly. And I said, look, you know dance, I know fitness. I'll do the health, well-being side of things. You do the dance side of things. We created Fit Steps, which is using the 14 Latin and ballroom dances from Strictly, and we put it into a dance class. So people can follow a teacher and get fit and healthy, and not just the fit and health side, the community. So that's sort of social aspect as well.
I know, because I was a Fit Steps instructor.
You were. You said you were an A instructor as well, what did you call it?
Master trainer.
Master trainer.
Yeah, I used to train power hoop, everything. I did all of it. I used to teach as well and do training courses and stuff.
I think you should do that here at the weekend.
You think, yeah. No, this lot won't do it. This lot won't do it.
For your panellists.
Here at GBNews. I'll get Danny onto it, my panellist. I'll try and get him onto it. You wouldn't get the hoop round him. Now, you're also a bit of a philanthropist. You're a patron of anaphylaxis campaign. Talk to me about why you decided to get involved with that.
It's quite a painful story, but when I trained in Bath, I trained at Bath University, and I obviously part of the swimming programme, and the athletics programme had Colin Jackson. And there was obviously the athletes and the swimmers, and I used to hang out with the athletes a lot. And there was one athlete in particular that used to train with Colin Jackson. He was going to be the next up-and-coming Colin Jackson, and his name was Ross Bailey. Now, Ross had a nut allergy, which he knew about, and people knew about, I knew about. And Colin was off training one day at a competition, and I was with Ross, and we'd been training in the morning, done our gym session. We went to get a sandwich at lunchtime, and he didn't want to be a hassle to the guy that owns a sandwich shop. So I said, I'll have coronation chicken. Ross said, I'll have one of them. I didn't know what was in it. He didn't know what was in it. Anyway, cut a long story short, it had nuts in the sauce, and he had a reaction to it, and basically 3 days later he died.
Oh, no.
And for seeing somebody that was so, a very, very good friend, but someone that was so fit and healthy, and that something that you don't even see could affect somebody like that, I sort of put my weight. I sort of thought I'd get involved with trying to help out people's awareness around anaphylactic shock. And that's not just from nuts, that can be from bee stings and everything else. It's frightening. It was frightening what he did.
Yeah, it must have been very frightening for you. Sorry to hear that. This sounds like a great guy.
It was awesome. It was awesome. No, it was a lovely. It wouldn't hurt anybody whatsoever. So, yeah, it was sad. Very sad.
And also, you're also a spokesperson for LGBTQ+ community as well. Talk to us about that.
I suppose it comes from, as a kid growing up late 70s, early 80s, realising that I was different, but hearing, I kind of knew I was gay, but a period and a time when, from the playground to the news, papers, even the changing room, where it was all, being gay's not right, it's not normal. And I kind of went, well, is that me? I wasn't quite sure of my sexuality, but I felt that I was attracted to men. But I kind of hid it away, and I thought, well, don't show yourself, because people are they're going to judge you. And I was afraid of people's reaction. And then when I became a professional swimmer, I was worried about what sponsors might think. So I kind of lived two separate lives. I had Mark the swimmer, and I had Mark the home life. So for a long period of time, throughout my whole swimming career, because I never felt, not safe as in I was afraid of being physically beaten up, but just afraid of showing my true self, really. So it wasn't until about 5 years ago, at 47, that I kind of, I'm going to say officially came out and did some stuff in the papers. Let's face it, it's swimming, it's not football. There's not that much interest. And I realised I wasn't a tortured soul, but I also realised in parts of the UK still, people are beaten up on a daily basis and abused. And around the world, there's still the death penalty. And it's frightening and shocking. I thought, well, I've got a platform where I can stand up and maybe, hopefully, someone somewhere will get a little bit of strength from that.
No, good on you, Mark. Good on you. So what are you doing now? What's your big thing? What's your next big thing?
I've got Fit Steps. I've got a swim academy. I do a lot of speaking. So not this kind of speaking, but in front of from kids at school to universities to government sector to private businesses. So whether it's motivational speaking or coming out, bringing your best self to work, dealing with mental health, well-being, I do a lot of speaking.
Well, listen, Mark, it's been good listening.
It's been lovely seeing you again.
Thank you
back
so
on the
much.
dance floor.
You didn't even remember me, Mark. Listen, you better follow me back on Twitter.
I will do, I promise.
24 hours, otherwise you're dead to me.
Okay.
Thank you.